wanna know who gon' say it? ChellaH gon' say it.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl ChellaH, the realest in it. And this is the premiere of So Who Gon Say It, the conversation series. And today I sat with the legend, Angela Yee. And when I say we talked about some of everything from the Breakfast Club to girl code to what's going on, lip service, to celebrities who start tweaking out on her, to how she viewed things. Oh, it was a vibe. So I need y'all to just sit back and tune in. Because if ain't nobody go say it, ChellaH go say it.
Okay, sorry.
Media mogul, the most relevant journalist I know. You was inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame, something that I didn't know, in 2020. You got all type of degrees. Wesleyan University, like you just so special. What's up?
I forgot that you came with me to Wesleyan.
I did.
Listen, this is my friend in real life. I know a lot of times people be fake friends, like, oh, that's my girl. Oh, shout out. But we really have done a lot of things together. So I appreciate you for having me here.
Thank you.
I'm excited to be your first guest.
Yes,
Who's going to say it? Because you've been having this emotion, I feel like, for years. Okay, so let's get it going.
That's right. So I wanted to, because everybody be like, well, how do you know Angie? Like, how did y'all meet? So just to make it clear, I think it was in like 2022 or 2021. I came to New York. I did another song. I did a song with another female, and I was so nervous because they didn't show up. So Joycey, shout out to my girl Joycey. Joycey came with me. We flew to New York, and we were supposed to go on lip service. And we was like, oh, my God, the girl ain't coming. And when I got there, I told you, and I was like, oh, she going to be like, oh, I don't want to do it. And you welcomed me with straight open arms. She was like, listen, I know who you are. And people who act like they don't know who you are, they lying. I don't know if you remember, but you told me that. And that gave me so much confidence.
I think that in a situation like that, number one, when you go on a podcast, it's sometimes the biggest stars be the most boring.
Facts.
And so it could be somebody like, I'm going to be honest, ChellaH, you was telling it all. Y'all may want to flash back to that episode.
Exactly.
But I think anybody that's great at conversation is good on a podcast. Just think about like even some of these hosts who we wouldn't have known until they started, you know, as a podcast, as a sidekick on a podcast. And you're like, okay, now that person's interesting. It's just a whole new space. And I've been doing my podcast for like 12 years.
Yes.
And so I know there's a lot of people that are in that space now. And you know, for me, it's just something like lip service started off on Sirius, and then I turned it into a podcast later. But I also look at everything that's been going on and like the money that can be made. A lot of times people will tell you, oh, don't do this. It's oversaturated. Everybody got this. But if you can be consistent, because not everybody's consistent.
Right.
And if you can just understand and be patient and I think work at it, because a lot of people don't put in the work. It could be something that's beneficial. So that's why, in particular, your personality, between your sketches, between your artistry, between how I think you're great at even things like putting together an event and all the detail-oriented things that you do, this is a perfect space for you.
Facts. In other words, what can't I do? So who gonna say yeah? So, and that's what I was gonna ask you, like, what made you gravitate towards me like you did? Not just on some like, okay, that's my girl. You brought me in. I get to co-host Way Up, lip service, but I also get to stand at your house. That's different.
Well, you can cook. That's number one. So
I can. But I ain't cook right away.
Not right away.
I ain't cook
you
right
was like,
away.
Let me hold back on them.
Right.
You know what, ChellaH? I think that people will tell you, like, not to make new friends. You gotta, you know, this is a cutthroat industry. But I just think that we had a great connection. I could tell you're a real authentic person. People who know you, nobody says nothing bad about you. Literally, I got to Chicago, and I went to go have a drink last night when I got in. And the guy at the bar, the guy who was inside having a drink too, was like, oh my God, are you Angela Yee? I'm friends with ChellaH. When I first came to Chicago, she showed me around and helped me out. And I was like, that's wild that like some random person at the bar has those positive things to say about you. I never come across somebody that was like, I can't stand ChellaH. And I just think personality-wise, I want to be around people that are fun, that are positive. I got so many videos of you, you know.
Doing the most.
Twerking on the floor. I mean, but I like that. I like people who are fun, who don't, who are authentic, who got good intentions. I think I've been around people so much that will talk about you behind your back.
Right.
People that will try to and I found out about it, and I've given people many chances. I'm not like that anymore. And I feel like I'm confident that if I'm not in the room, I know that you're the type of person that if somebody says something crazy and you told me you have, you'll
check.
You will check it. And so I appreciate that.
Period. Mm-hmm. And speaking of lip service is just off the chain. One thing I like about you is the way that you can just be so diverse. Mm-hmm. From way up, you can talk about finances to success, and then you go on lip service, and we talking about juggling balls, basically.
Yeah.
What was your most wildest episode on lip service, or most memorable guest? I know I went viral, but
you know what? I'm gonna say we in Chicago, but I'm gonna keep it real. King Von.
Really?
That was one of our biggest episodes.
Okay.
But I think the reason for that is because people know him a certain way, and they've never heard him sit down and do an interview where he was like that.
Right.
He was talking about sex. He was a little shy. And so even when that came out, I remember people just being like, that was a dope interview.
Period.
And so I feel like, honestly, that's a memorable one. I remember we interviewed DaBaby super early on.
Okay.
Just, I think, getting guys out of the comfort zone of sometimes they do interviews and they got to talk about beef. They got to talk about, who they don't mess with. They got to talk about things. But in a situation like lip service, we're talking about just real life situations. We're talking about intimate things. We're talking about relationships. And it's just a different type of, we're not trying to make you say something that could incriminate you.
Right.
And we're just trying, unless it's with your girl.
Facts.
I mean, because that has happened.
I'm sure.
But we're just trying to have fun and make you have fun.
Right. That's what's up. Yeah, because they go on there and they just tell the truth.
Yeah.
They get home and they just deal with it later. And just from you just being a journalist and just having so many accolades from lip service to way up and so on, have you ever been put in a situation where you would have somebody come on and they might have an op or might not be real cool with another person, and now they feeling the way like, damn, why you bring them on, or why you bring him on or her on, or shit like that? Have you ever?
Yes, that has definitely happened on multiple occasions. And I think, delicately speaking, I'm never trying to, down talk somebody or make anything escalate too much. Mm-hmm. I might ask a question, and I don't really ask things that's not out there publicly. So I might know something, but I'm not going to bring it up if it's personal information. But if it's something that you said on social media, if it's something that's been in the news, I think that is things that you can bring up.
Right.
But if it's something that somebody I know knows you and they told me that and no one else knows it, right, I ain't gonna try to bring something like that up. Just, that code of not trying to get somebody caught up out there. And if I do want to talk about something, it's a conversation we're gonna have beforehand.
Right.
So I might be like, listen, I heard this. Is it cool for me to bring this up? Because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be breaking this or being the first with this irresponsibly.
Right.
I want to make sure that I'm doing things that you're happy with it, you enjoyed the interview. It might get some backlash, and that has happened. But at least you're not feeling like, dang, she set me up.
Right.
And I don't never want to set somebody up in an interview. But I've definitely had people be upset, like, why did you interview this person?
Right.
I mean, recently, Ray J hit me up, like, why you had Shine on the show? What he got going on. And I was like, well, he's got a tour, he's got a new album on the way, and he's thinking about his sister. And so, yeah, he's like, we family, though. And yes, Ray J, we are. But, I just think he didn't say nothing crazy.
Right. So he thinking about his sister or Ray J's sister?
Well, talking about Brandy, Shine, things that happened with. And I didn't feel like when Shine initially brought it up, it was super disrespectful. I feel like, he wasn't like, yeah, I smashed. For all I know, dating means they were younger, they went out a few times. That might not mean that. You know what I mean? So I just look at it that way. But I respect it. Like, the thing is, in the business that we're in, and I know you've probably had issues like this before, too, because you've done interviews and podcasts and interviewed people where people get mad because you asked a question or you brought something up that maybe had been a touchy subject for them. but
sure.
it's happened to you, right? So
For sure. It happened.
And sometimes, listen, maybe somebody not gonna be cool with you no more. It is what it is. But you have a job to do.
Right.
Some people will tell you it's hard to be friends with people that you know at some point you might have to talk about them or interview them.
Yeah.
But if something's on the news and something happened, how do you just not report it?
Facts. I definitely went through that with my last podcast, Straight Drop, when I had Twist on there. And it was like, I asked them beforehand. I was like, listen, y'all know how I'm going to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you don't want me to talk about? And it was like, no, it's cool. And then he damn near walked out. But we got that fixed. So
Yeah.
shout out to them. Yeah. And one thing I like about you is I feel like you're real. People always ask me, like, what's she like and stuff like that. And I know you outside of just work. But what's a misconception that people have about you that you heard, like, behind your back type shit?
I mean, I think in general, like things that I've seen about myself, people will be like, oh, she's not a girl's girl. She's not this. I'm going to be honest, like, you could say whatever you want. I know what I've done
Facts.
for other people. And so, and I'm never going to broadcast it or talk about it, but I know how I get down. Like, there's so many things that happen that people will never know about that I've,
Done.
helped initiate, positions I put people in behind the scenes. And so I think when you're really confident in knowing who you are and the people that matter know,
Facts.
that means the most. I'm never doing things because I'm trying to get attention or I'm trying to get a pat on the back or I need somebody to say, thanks to Angela, she got me in this position.
Right.
I'm okay with never nobody saying that. So I think that's a misconception because it's interesting because when one person could say one thing, I remember one time literally seeing people say like, Angela doesn't stand up for women, and right underneath that, somebody saying she always takes the woman's side. And it's, it is like, another thing I would say is that people think that all I talk about is sex, and that's from lip service. And I ran into T.I. the other day when I was out in California for, what was it? Was it All-Star? I was out in California. I'm trying to think, what event just happened in Oakland? Or in San Francisco. This time, Super Bowl, sorry, because, I'm not the biggest sports person. But anyway, I was out there and I ran into him, and he actually came and did the show after that. But I was like, yeah, when you coming on? He was like, oh, I ain't trying to talk about sex. And I'm like, dang, I feel like that is like maybe 20% like relationships, sex, but I also have like a Wealth Wednesday. I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
I'm actually here to talk about HIV awareness. That's why I'm in Chicago. And so it's just interesting to me that depending on what goes viral or what people see, that's the perception that they may have of you.
Right. Well, I can say this. I done been around a lot of bitches, women, queens. But with you, it's nothing nobody could say to me about you. Because for one, you were one of the women who not only put me in a position, even though I've been grinding for a minute, like you came like, look, you need to be seen more. You also made sure I got checks. You helped me cut expenses from covering flights to board, like just all that shit just says a lot about your character. So I'm just putting it on the floor, whether you give yourself the flowers or not. I just really appreciate that because I never really got that. I put in a lot of work and did a lot of shit for people too. But it was just like your energy was just so warm. And so I really appreciate that.
I remember we went and did that breast cancer walk. To be honest, like having ChellaH around when you got to work it's a good time. Like there's a lot of times that I have stuff that I have to do. I forget, like, damn, remember when we did X, Y, and Z? We've done so many things that have been actually fun. We went to the Clarissa Shields fight. That was a big deal to me. Like I went to that. And not that I was even getting paid to go to that, but just to be able to go to Detroit to Little Caesars Arena where there's a woman fighting and she is the main event and she sold it out and she got all these women coming out to support. That is like the type of thing and the type of energy that I love. Facts. And you were like, I'm coming, I'm driving down.
And we had a time, because Detroit was like, how many hours away? Like 4 hours away type shit, I forgot. I don't know, I was on the passenger side, sleep. But I appreciate it.
Yeah, we got a lot of video of that, too. Let me tell y'all something. ChellaH will be on that passenger side, sleep. She'll be in that back seat, sleep.
I have to get it when I can because I barely get it. So speaking of getting, I know you be getting a lot. What's your craziest, like, I be getting some wild DMs. This guy the other day, he DM'd me some crazy shit. What's the craziest
What
DM
is
you
that? I want to know what he DM'd you. You can't just say that. And
So he DM'd me, and I usually just leave him all the way to the other side. But this particular day, I was up at like 4 in the morning because I've been up a lot. And I slid, and it was like, hey, you still got your OnlyFans? And that ChellaH in me was like, yeah. And the next thing you know, it was a picture of his balls.
Oh.
And he had it like linked. I'm like, why would you?
just his balls?
Shit? Just his balls.
How did he manage that?
I don't know. I guess it was like the angle. It was lifted up. It was crazy. But I was like,
Balls are
that's
not
crazy.
cute either.
Exactly. Especially if they not shaved.
Yeah.
That's
They also
crazy.
still just look like kiwi no matter what.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
They
Even if
do.
they shaved, it's not like, there's, okay. But go ahead. Okay.
What's your craziest DM that you ever got?
Mm.
Because I know mine's off the chain.
I've gotten so many, courtesy of the fact that we had lip service. But, I mean, I've gotten video. I remember seeing a video of a guy that he released on himself, but it, shot up on him.
Not the angle.
Yeah.
Sprout.
And he was proud of that.
Wow. And you clicked on it.
I didn't know what it was.
Right.
And so, it's just, I've gotten so many DMs from people, that have been absolutely disgusting. Unsolicited DMs like that. Even, yeah, so I've gotten a lot.
It's been crazy. What's a lesson that you learned the hard way? Like, you thought it was going to be smooth, but it was like, okay, I get it.
Oh, man, I've learned so many lessons. I think about, a lot of times we talk about forgiveness, right? And how important forgiveness is. And I believe that it is. But I also believe that I have to forgive people and leave them where they are and keep it moving.
Facts.
And so I think that I have been too accepting of a lot of red flags. And that, comes with men and women, in relationships, but also in friendships, where you've showed me things too many times and people have been like, I don't know about this person. And I have over and over again given people chances in relationships when I knew that it wasn't going to work out and I should have left way earlier.
Facts.
A lot of times I'll let relationships and friendships drag out. So I think that's probably a lesson, because I feel like it's such a waste of time and a waste of energy. I think right now in my life, I feel so good about who's around me, who's not around me anymore, the time that I'm choosing to spend. And I'm sure you could relate to this because, suffering from the loss of my brother passing, and I know your mother passed recently, it makes you take a whole new perspective on what you're spending time on, what life is like, what's important to you, values, and it also makes you kind of have a not give a fuck type of attitude about a lot of things that you may have previously been I could handle this, I could cope with it, but it makes you be like, I don't really care.
Facts.
Yeah.
I just went through that. And that's true. And it's a saying, when people show you who they are,
Yep.
believe them.
Yes.
Like the first time. It don't matter how many years go past. And from me going from my teens to 20s to 30s to 40s, it's like I see now, no matter what a person does, they're going to go back and convert to who they were in the beginning.
Yeah.
All the time. So that's a lesson.
And I think being too quick to call somebody a friend, because it's okay that there's acquaintances.
Ooh, I just went through that.
People don't have to necessarily be your friend. It could be somebody who I know, and when I see you, we cool, but that don't mean we friends,
For sure.
That's a real label. And so I think also categorizing things where when I see you, we cool, or we do business, or, hey, good to run into you, but that don't make you my friend.
For sure. I just went through that myself. It's like sometimes you could meet a person and you could just be like, damn, they solid. You know what I'm saying? The next thing you know, it'll be a one thing to just make them totally switch up. And then you be hurt.
Yeah.
Like a relationship that broke up, not even intimate, but it's just like, damn, I was calling her little sis.
Yeah.
Just a week ago.
Everybody is not little sis. I think also knowing that in my head, I know there's certain people that if I didn't have the position I had, they won't be around.
Fact.
And so you have to know who those people are. There's people that are like, as long as she doing X, Y, and Z, we cool.
Right.
But who's not going to pick up the phone if they think things aren't going well? Even me venturing off on my own and starting my own show, there's certain people that not really, cool with me like they was when I was doing what I was doing before.
Right.
And that's fine with me, though, because I feel like time is really precious. Forget about money. Forget about material things. Time is such an important asset that we have. And so we have to be really careful about how we spend that.
Facts. And I say all the time, I'm big on character. And everybody around me be like, oh, there she go with the character shit. But, like, that means so much to me. It could be a person that may not have as much clout or money, but I'm big on a person's heart because that says a lot. And those are the type of people that I want to be around. Like, I'm cool with missing out on some opportunities if the person ain't solid.
Right, right.
It's people who music I might like, but then I found out they a fucked up person, and I won't like that shit no more. People be like, ChellaH, you tweaking? I ain't tweaking. I know exactly what's going on.
It's so interesting to have that conversation now because even looking at Kanye and him not being able to do this wireless festival but selling out in LA, and I see people talking about who went to the concert and, trying to shame people for that. It's interesting to talk about people's art versus who they are in real life.
Right.
Because there could be people who you love, and this is Chicago. That's why it's interesting to talk about somebody like Kanye, because Kanye is so loved. People grew up listening to his music. I mean, literally, my producer, Dan, and I always get on him for this, but him being Jewish and then still supporting Kanye, he's like, I don't know, it's too hard for me not to.
Right.
That's like the soundtrack to my life. But then there's people who are quick to cancel you, and I mean, he's done some wild things. And so all of that has been interesting because you see people are still going to show up. His album still streamed, amazingly. He's still going to be able to get certain deals. It's just certain ones that he can't get.
Right. Well, it is what it is. One thing about all the Chicagoans, a lot of us hit our head. Kanye, R. Kelly. But when you from Chicago, it's like we could talk shit about you, but can't nobody else say shit. So that's a plus.
Right, especially about y'all pizza.
That's a whole nother story. We'll get off into. Being around you, I got to see stuff that people will never see. Facts.
Yeah.
Because we get down to it.
Complex Studios is the #1 studio in Chicago, guaranteed to cover all your media needs. So y'all make sure y'all book with Complex Studios right now. The information is below.
I know a little wild side about you. What's the song that you really, really like that people wouldn't expect you to like, being Angela Yee?
Really? I think I be having fun. Like, I really do enjoy songs that's the opposite of kind of like how I am in real life.
Right.
First of all, I love, like, the ladies.
You do. You do.
I love nasty ass songs.
I know.
To be honest, it's fun. And I think people take things too. I love Sexy Red, and I think people take it too seriously when they're like, "Oh, she's a bad role model. She's this, she's that." She. I think it's entertaining. I think it's fun. I ain't got no baby daddy, but I love fuck my baby daddy. I like that. It is what it is. I also feel like you was doing that a long time ago.
Thanks.
And, before you was like a city girl before the city girls.
I walk so they can run. That's a whole other story.
And the reason that I also empathize with that is because having lip service, I've gotten so much judgment from doing a show like that when I did it super early on. And understanding that is the cross that Black women have to bear. If we talk about sex, we talk about our bodies, we talk about what we like, what we don't like. There's always gonna be some haters that's like, y'all nasty, y'all this, oh, why you
right.
But you don't have no problem when men do it. You don't have no problem when white women do it.
Right.
It's just a problem when we do it. And I remember when Chelsea Handler came on Lip Service, and she actually asked to come on that show. And she literally was like understanding that dynamic of she can talk about these things and not face the same type of judgment and crucifixion that we might face because people, because she's white. And so it's more acceptable for her to do certain things, but she understands that. She didn't make the system you know,
Right.
that had that exist. So, but yeah, that's why. I mean, part of why I like you is because of how crazy you are and how crazy you talk. I done FaceTime you and been like, "What are you doing?"
And ain't no telling what I'm doing.
No telling.
People be saying I'm crazy. I don't see that.
That's
But I
because you're
just be
crazy.
like, it's all
Crazy people
good.
don't know they're crazy. Let's be
Right.
clear.
Speaking of like women, you from Brooklyn, born and raised. You've been around all the female rappers from Queen Latifah to Lil Kim to Foxy Brown to Cardi B to Nicki to Remy Ma. Has it ever been something about any one of them that any one of them did that was just like showed a lot about their character outside of music? Like, has anyone ever said, you know what, I want to just show you I'm a real bitch and this what happened?
Let me see. I want to say that like early on in her career, Nicki Minaj did lip service, and that's before she was the Nicki Minaj who she is today. Cardi B has done lip service too, and has literally asked to do it. Lotto went on social media and was like, "I really want to do lip service."
That's
And
what's
so,
up.
yeah, Remy Ma did it. She was, I think, our second guest ever when I started it at Sirius.
Really?
And so for things like that, I'll never be mad at somebody who has done something that's been beneficial to me.
Right.
And so I will say that. I think what makes it hard sometimes is that people feel like you have to pick a side
For
when
sure.
people don't get along. And I'm not like anybody's bestie that I need to pick a side in a situation. I could like this song and like this song. It's just the fans online. I think that it's gotten so bad with social media and people chiming in on things. That's what has made things so, I feel like, aggressively, like, why does it have to be like this? It be the
Right.
fans that's making it happen. It be the, you know, this person versus this person.
Right.
And it really like ignites a fire that sometimes people feel like they can't come back from.
Right.
And that I don't like, because it used to be like back in the day, you could like everybody and it wasn't a big deal. But now you say one good thing about somebody, or you can't even criticize someone either. You can't even really be like, I didn't like that song, or I didn't care for that.
Right.
Or I didn't like how that person said X, Y, and Z on social media. That was whack. Because people take things so personally now.
Right.
So.
That's
And I think for me, even being in the position that I'm in, I've had people that I'm like, I'm cool with that might work in media that have posted negative things about me. And I have never been like you, I'm not cool with you no more. I understand what comes with the game. Like, there's going to be times that people like you, and there's going to be times that people don't like you. There's going to be times that people agree with you, and times that people don't agree with you. There's going to be times that you get dragged. I know every couple of months I'm going to get dragged for something.
fact.
It's just what it is.
Like, that whole thing is crazy. Like, how people are, how women are. I just was talking to you and one of my other homegirls, and I was just like, it's crazy how I'm big on communication. I don't want no yes men around me. I just want real bitches around me. Like, and I think that's why we get along too, like how we do, because you keep it 100 with me, and I keep it 100 with you.
But I would never publicly come, like, if you did
Facts.
something, I would tell you, like, ChellaH.
Yeah, you will.
I remember we had a situation. I'm gonna tell with this skit that you did, right, when you came on my show,
Yeah.
and we was just being funny. This was Lindsay was guest
Griner, yep.
hosting. Lindsay Grant, shout out to her. She'll be guest hosting again in a minute.
Yeah.
But you came up there, and we did a whole sketch where we made you feel left out, like you
Right.
wasn't supposed to be there, right?
Exactly.
But then the sketch ended up getting reposted later.
It did.
When I don't even want to talk about it, but anyway, there was some other issues going on down the hall, and people thought that was in response to that, when this happened months before that even went public. And so I was
It was
like,
so funny,
I
though.
was like, ChellaH, you might gotta like not have that right now, because they acting like,
Right. It's
but
a
it
big
but
deal.
it was funny,
It was funny as
and it ain't
hell.
have nothing to do with nothing that was currently
didn't.
going on.
It didn't, because it was old, but it was just funny, and it worked.
Yeah.
'Cause everybody was hitting me like, gee, that's so funny. To the point, I thought everybody would just think it was funny too, like
Yeah.
how I did.
Yeah.
But it ended up kind of switching or whatever, and it was what it was. It was like, okay, cool.
In general, like, if I feel like, and you could call me and be like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I'll be honest with you. If I don't agree with you, if I do agree with you, I'll let you know. But I'm I'm that type of person. Like, I'm always trying to make sure if there's an opportunity, I'm like, I think you need to do this.
Right.
I told you what I want you to do.
What?
I
'Cause
want
forget.
ChellaH to do an episode.
Right.
I really want her to do like some therapy on here.
Yeah. So that was supposed to be the first episode, but then life got the life in. And it was just like, okay, I got to figure it out. And then it was just the schedule. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get to it. But while my girl here, I got to take advantage of this.
Because I just think about so many things that you've been through that you never really have probably sat down and like try to figure out, how do I heal from this?
Right.
You know, because everything is just moving so fast. We trying to make it through day by day, but we don't take the time to be like, dang, this is why I act like this, or this is why I'm like this. And so I told ChellaH, I was like, I would love for you to have like a therapist come on and have this conversation. And you know you love to cry.
It ain't even that I love to cry. It's just like, I do cry a lot.
She's emotional.
I'm a crybaby. Everybody knows.
ChellaH came with me.
I'm holding back tears now.
You came with me when I was getting honored at my college.
Yeah.
I got a distinguished alumni award. It was you and my parents.
Yeah.
And I was like, ChellaH, why are you crying?
Because I be happy. I be crying like.
But I love that for you.
You
wear your emotions on your sleeve. Yeah.
So yeah, I am a crier. Everybody who knows me know that. A lot of people don't know me. They hear shit. They be like, oh, this bitch crazy and stuff like that. That's why I was telling you like how our relationship is. Even when I was introducing you to KX. I'm like, this is a person that has known me for a while. A lot of people don't get to know me like that. People be like, oh, she's a bitch, she mean, she don't do this, and that. But people who know me and love me unconditionally. And those the only people that I want to fuck with for the rest of my life.
No, you for real a softie.
I am. People don't know that, but I really am.
You really are.
And the people who don't know that, I just be like, fuck them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I do want to be loved, but I do want to be respected. So if they just respect me and don't love me, I'm cool with that too. They can stay where they at. Mm-hmm. That's a whole another code.
I can't wait for this therapy session, baby.
It's coming. I had a low-key therapy session last night.
For real?
I did, but it wasn't with an outsider. It was like me and my family. We went to Longhorn and we all did like a round table, and it was like real shit. It was like my son, he was saying real shit. My sister was saying real shit. My nephew was there doing the most, my uncle. But it was the first time that we was able to just like put a lot of shit on the flow. And I just feel like it's just a new beginning.
That's good. I'm glad. It's something positive could come out of something that's like tragic, I think, is always
It's life be lifing.
What's that restaurant that you love that you made me go to?
Grand Lux.
Grand Lux.
They
First
closed
of all,
Grand Lux.
all you did was send me mad videos of people being upset about Grand Lux closing here.
Yeah, 'cause
she
we
came to
was
see me in New
mad.
York. She was like, you know there's a Grand Lux. I'm like, you gotta calm down.
I couldn't believe it was a Grand
with
Lux.
these chicken
We love
spring
Grand
rolls.
Lux in
Yeah.
Chicago. Like, we go to Grand Lux. I used to have so many niggas. Like, I used to go to Grand Lux 3 times a week.
That's ridiculous.
We'll go there, get them buffalo chicken rolls. So when I come there, I be want to go
That was
there.
the only time I was like, ChellaH, you gotta calm down. Because
want
all you went,
some.
I was trying to work and do stuff, and I was tired. You was like,
Get on the passenger side. I'm driving.
She
I
was like,
need
can
them-
we go to
I
Grand
need
Lux?
them chicken rolls. But I appreciate it.
Grand Lux or Ruth Chris?
Grand Lux, because I don't get it often.
Okay.
I can do Ruth Chris when I want to. That's the code. Speaking of code, how do you deal with like I'm real big on girl code. Mm-hmm. So I feel like when it comes to women, like my girls, I don't give a fuck what's going on. It's just gonna be us talking about it. I'm not gonna talk about it to no outsider.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna show no niggas. I'm just gonna move a certain way and deal with it behind closed doors. It's girl code, then it's guy code. We'll get to the guy code next. But how do you feel like about girl code? Because I'm real big on girl code.
Yes, you are.
I don't play that. When you switch up on me, it's like, what? Is you cool?
I've been in some weird situations, and I mean, just the other day, I was having a situation where I was with somebody I knew, and I knew she was talking about me behind my back.
Who?
But I'm not gonna say who it is.
Say
but-
me after.
Okay.
Okay.
But you know, she is a friend of mine, and I know she's going through a lot. So the person that told me is another friend of mine, and I'm like, how do I handle this? Because if I tell her I know, it's going to blow up into something even more.
Right.
You know, because sometimes you talk to people pillow talk, and then you hear about it.
Oh, that pillow talking?
Yeah.
That pillow talking is dangerous.
Yes.
I just had a whole heartbreak off some pillow talking.
Because sometimes people do vent to somebody and say things that they think you'll never hear. Mm-hmm. And I can understand that too, because I might tell my man something.
Facts.
And I don't want him to like never mention it to nobody. And I don't think he would, because he don't have, you know, he's not really like that. But
a lot of niggas do.
Yeah, yes. And so it was a weird situation for me to be in. I think sometimes it just depends on how harmful it is. Because sometimes that is like, I get that I'm in a position that some people kind of could be a little jealous of. And I don't know that it's me per se, but more like the position that I'm in.
Right.
And so I am empathetic to that. Like, I can understand that it's a tough time. You know, people are getting laid off. There's things happening, and it is kind of like, dang, how's she, you know, still doing X, Y, and Z? And sometimes that's your own dissatisfaction with like how things aren't working for you. So I'm sympathetic to sometimes people feel like that. But I remember one time told me somebody was talking about me crazy. This person wanted to do business with me, would never have said that to my face, but told you something, or you found out about something, and immediately you told me.
Close to me, and I instantly hit you up. Yep, because what?
And then we randomly ran into the person,
did.
And you wanted to go up to her and say something so bad, but it was her birthday, and we were at the same restaurant.
Yeah.
And I was like, chill out, it's her birthday, and it ain't like that's my friend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just somebody that always wants to do business, and all it makes me do is not go out my way for her.
I get it. And I get it, but you got me too, right? Because I'm like, okay, I get it. You want to just be smooth, because that's how you are. You avoid. And I'm big on avoiding altercation too. But, bitch, you was just talking a hell of shit. Now we in New York. No, like, you're not finna just play on my girl.
I was like,
cool.
dang, that's her right there.
I said, yeah, that's her. She just said this, woo, 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 woo. And you was like, oh, ChellaH. I'm like, if that's what you want to do. But I am confrontational because I'm a big communicator. So I do be want to put it on the floor.
Yeah.
So if you would have just been like, well, then I feel like that would have been a big birthday surprise for her.
Oh, my God.
No, I know what you're saying, but sometimes I feel like you have to address situations for clarity.
And sometimes I'm like, I don't know about my energy because you're not even my friend. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like.
But you wouldn't have been able to tell that the way that she was.
She's not. Like, she never been around. We never done hung out outside. You know what I'm saying? We never, like, I get it. I'm used to it. I think being in this industry for so long, I'm used to people talking shit about me. I'm like, if I let that bother me every single time, I'll be confronting people on a daily basis.
Gee, you pay her birthday bill.
What?
I think you was like, you know what, we just go shit on and pay the bills or something.
Oh,
right?
I did?
Yeah, you did. And I was so irritated. I'm like, I get it. You want to show the boss way, but it was just that Project Low End bitch was like, no, I just wanted to say something. But you stopped me and it's cool, because I'm sure she regretted it.
I don't know. But I also felt like at some point I'm going to say something to her when I have the time. It just hasn't been nothing that's on my schedule.
Yeah, because it ain't no rush. And when you do, I'm not one of those friends. It depends on how you find out some shit. But I'm one of them friends, you can say, ChellaH said.
Yeah.
Like, you can put
Yeah, I don't like when people be like, don't tell them I said X, Y, and Z. You were like, it's okay. You could tell her
this
I
my
said
girl.
it. Yeah.
She said woo, 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 because I feel like bitches need to just know they roll. Like, I don't like that, because it was a whole nother energy, but you was just in Chicago talking shit. What's the chances of us bumping into
I know.
her in New
God
York?
put her right there.
And I'm the friend that's like, okay, what we doing?
I was
that.
like, ChellaH, that's the girl.
That's cool.
But I will say, like, when I think about situations that I have, it ain't never been, like, no loss that I've had that I feel like I miss.
Oh.
You know,
I feel
as
the
far
same way.
as friendships, relationships, there is nothing that I feel like, damn, I messed that up, or that was for me, or I missed that. I feel like life is I just feel blessed as far as the people that I'm around now.
Yeah. I feel the same way. It's a lot of people over the years I done had problems with, and it's just like, I don't miss shit. It is what it is. I might miss fun, but who cares? I'm fun myself.
Yeah, you don't even drink no more.
I definitely
I'm playing with
drink.
you, honey.
But I'm saying, like,
You just did 2 shots.
I did. And gonna do 2 more.
And shout out to Cutwater, man. I hope they endorse you at some point.
No, you know what? I ain't gonna shit on Cutwater, but my favorite Cutwater is Cutwater K.
Okay.
Shout out to my boy Cutwater K. Y'all make sure y'all book y'all session at Complex Studio. Period. That's the code.
I like this studio too, and I'm glad.
Beautiful.
Like, I'm so happy that we were able to coordinate because, you know, it means a lot to me to be your first guest.
Period.
You know, so who
I
gonna
wouldn't
say
have
it?
it no other way.
And I want to say that I also think that you are hilarious, like on social media. If people not following you, they need to. Even though you ain't gonna follow nobody back, it's cool.
Type shit. Follow me everywhere but home, because if you do that, I got something for that ass. Be cool. So it was the situation where Gucci had a situation where Pooh Shiesty and I guess Big 30 pulled up and they did this and this and that, and motherfuckers was like, oh, Gucci told woo type shit. How do you feel about that? Because I feel like I'm a woman, so I'm not a man. But I feel like once you get to a certain level, a certain age, a certain level, who finna be worrying about taking shit the street way? People be like, oh, you in the streets, you shouldn't tell. I let everybody know. I don't give a fuck about that street shit. Yeah, I keep my Pipiana, Glockiana, all that. But I'm telling.
Well, I think it's a couple of different things. I think that, say you were signing artists that you know they in the street.
Facts.
You got to know what comes with that. So you can't be one way, but then wanting to be down with people that's a whole nother way. And then you also can't talk like, you know, they always say when it comes to the code of the street, if you a civilian, it don't really count for you. Right? Like going to the police. But if you present yourself as like, yo, I'm ChellaH and I'm this and I'm that and I ain't never going to the cops and I'm never telling and I'm doing X, Y, and Z, then just know that if you do that, people are going to look at you a certain way. Now,
what about if you grow out of that and you don't really touch on that where you ain't going to the police and shit like that? I never said, me, myself, I never said that, but I'm saying for other people.
I just feel like it's a lot of different things. I feel like if you know that you're not on no street stuff and you know somebody is unhappy, because I'm sure that wasn't the first time he knew that Pooh Shiesty was unhappy in his deal.
Right.
And with certain things that had gone on, you need to figure out a way to then let somebody go. Right? Like, I just had Jazzy on Lip Service. She was talking about going to Diddy and asking to get out of her contract.
Right.
And Diddy understood, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. He actually let her out of her contract. Those are difficult conversations to have.
Yeah.
But at some point, you have to do the right thing for a human being. And so I feel like if you were like, look, here's how you'll get out. I need X amount of money, something that makes sense, that's logical, that's fair, right? I understand we've been through a lot emotionally. You know, you had an issue with your cousin being here and he passed, and then there was a lot of drama that happened behind that.
Type shit.
And that's real life things. If you care about a human being and not just an artist,
right,
and you know they're from the street and you not no more,
right,
then figure it out. That's how I look at it. Like, I just feel like you got to find a way to make sure that, I'm not telling you as a business person you shouldn't make whatever money, but figure something out so that's devastating to lose somebody close to you. If somebody is devastated from that and they don't feel like they're getting what they're supposed to get, they went out of their contract, the contract isn't fair or right, I don't know what's in it.
Right.
But if that's what people are saying, then you need to make that right. And if not, you have to know that there may be some repercussions from that, because people get in situations where they feel backed into a corner. And I always felt like this about labels. They want to sign these street artists that's really living the lyrics that they say that they're living, but then you don't want what comes with that. And you can't have it both ways. You know what I'm saying? You can't sign an artist and want them to be a certain way and represent something, and then when they do, you don't want to deal with that.
Right. I also know that when artists first sign in the beginning, for the most part, they're young and they really don't know.
Yeah.
Even if they got an entertainment lawyer. You know
I know heads of major labels that have said, when this artist, because I get it, when you sign an artist, it's a risk, right? Most of them aren't going to blow up. But for the ones that do, that's what carries the label.
Right.
And when that happens, that is time to renegotiate and do something that's more fair because it's the right thing to do. And so when I think you're a celebrity, you're an artist, and you're the head of a label, and you sign another artist, it's a different type of relationship that you have, especially when you want to act like you big bro.
Right. You want to make sure you sign with somebody that it's not just business, in my opinion. You want to find somebody and sign with them who got solid character.
You know, it sounds good, but it doesn't always happen. I think that just business can work if you understand that's what it is. When I'm hot, you gonna fuck with me, and when I'm not, you not. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is when those lines get crossed and people think that you always gonna mess with me when I'm hot or not. And the truth is, when it comes to business, that's just not what it is.
Right.
And if people could just be more transparent and let it be known, I think that would be helpful.
Right. So basically, you feel like if you start off a certain way where you going in with street artists and you know what comes with it, then stick to that.
Yeah, or just work within that. If that's not what you want to do and they like, this is what I want, I need to get out of this, figure out a way that it benefits both of y'all. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you can't also represent the street too. Like if you was representing the street and you like, I'm ChellaH, I'm from the low, I'm this, I'm that.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But if you also like, ain't no snitching, ain't no this, we don't talk to the cops, but then you talk to the cops.
Right.
Then it's like, you just say you don't.
Right. See, me, I'm from the streets. Everybody know that. Jennifer
I can't
Lowen,
see you talking to no cops, ChellaH.
I can't say that. I never said that, though. I never said that I don't talk to cops.
Right.
I never said that.
But then you also got to know if you do, there's going to be a certain group of people that don't fuck with you from that.
And I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
You know, I
Just
never
cool
followed the masses because when you remove the M, they the asses. So I never really gave a fuck. When it comes to certain shit, because I'm carrying concealed, it's a lot of things. I ain't never really had no problems like that. But it depends on who it is. Like with women, I ain't really the one that's going to be like, oh, I'm calling cops. But if I ever had a situation with a man, I will definitely call the police. If I feel like the situation, even with a female, I know how to handle shit and I'm highly respected. So I really don't have those type of problems. But it really depends. And I don't really be giving a fuck.
Right.
About shit. Speaking about not giving a fuck, I just want to ask you this before we go on to the next thing.
Uh-oh. You got a buzzer?
I do. I just want to ask you this. You ready?
Uh-huh.
That's the I don't give a fuck buzzer.
Okay.
What's something that you just really, it don't matter. It can be business, friendship. What's something that you just don't give a fuck about?
Let me see. What is it? So many things I don't give
I'm
a fuck
sure.
about.
The list goes on.
I don't give a fuck about, let me see. I'm trying to think where to start.
Right. It's a lot of shit my girl don't give a fuck about.
Let me see. I don't give a fuck about people who don't really know me talking crazy about me.
Right.
If you don't know me, we ain't never did nothing together. You never met me in real life. I don't really give a fuck. Like, I'm not even going to engage in that. You might get blocked. That's about it.
Right. You good at that.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't even engage. Like, it's mostly people who have stuff to say is people I really don't care about.
Right.
And so there's that. Let me see. I'm going to tell you something new that I don't really give a fuck about is spending money on, like, designer things.
Really?
I know. Yes, girl. I feel like
that just happened.
I think
your closet is ridiculous.
And guess what? A lot of that stuff I don't even wear. And it make you realize, like I said, you know, going through certain things, you realize what's important and what's not.
For sure.
Honestly, like even me having my house that, and you were there, but when I first bought the house and had to like full gut renovate this house and go through so many things,
right.
I feel like having a home that I love that's beautiful is more important to me than having like a designer bag.
Yeah, that's true. I get that.
So
your closet is crazy. So
yeah, I could like really never buy another bag again and be okay.
You have no reason to. You got like
Not saying that I won't, but it's not.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like I feel like certain things that used to matter a lot to me don't matter anymore. I want more experiences. I want to travel more. I was looking, it was one of my friend's birthdays the other day, and I was looking for like a picture to post of her. And I was like, damn, I really used to like be on vacation a lot. And I haven't been. Like starting this show, I feel like I've been so locked in. I have to be at work all the time. I have to, really like start from scratch from the bottom.
Right.
And so I want to do more life experiences and travel more and do more of that. And it's not about like designer stuff. Forget.
So you didn't travel somewhere everywhere. You've been to all the countries, all the cities and shit like that. We supposed to be going to Turks.
Oh, yeah. That's actually the picture I posted was of us in Turks, me and the girl for her birthday. Shout out to Marsha.
Period.
I posted us in Turks. Yes.
Have you ever been to a place and been like, I want to move here?
No, because, I'm a New Yorker for real, and I love Brooklyn.
You are.
Yeah, and
So it's no place you said.
But
that
there's
I could see
places that I'm
myself
like,
living.
I would get a place here.
Like where?
I mean, I love the U.S. Virgin Islands. I love St. Thomas. I also love the British Virgin Islands. I like St. Martin a lot. I could see me being there. I like Phoenix. I could see
Arizona?
that. Yeah, I do. And Scottsdale and all of that. I like warm places because we had a rough winter. Y'all know I love Detroit.
Don't you?
I
love
do, but
Detroit
I don't
too.
want to be there in the winter. I could do Detroit like when it's nice out. I enjoy it there. Miami, and I'm going to be in Miami a lot more because I do have a place.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got a place
We
there.
about to have a time.
Period. I'm ready. Let me know.
But as far, with the island, my mother's from Montserrat. Like, I would love to be able to be there more. It's more difficult to get to because there's no direct flight. But that's a place that I definitely want to spend more time.
You said your mom's from where?
Montserrat
Okay.
in the West Indies.
She's so sweet.
Yeah, she is.
And your dad, too. How was that? Because it's like your mama black and your daddy Chinese.
Yeah.
So do you ever feel like, okay, I'm black. Well, we know you black and Chinese. But do you ever feel like you have to pick, like, because I feel like you mainly represent the black people.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Flatbush,
Yeah.
a fully black neighborhood. I grew up, like, going to elementary school with all black kids till I went to private school.
Right.
So I think it's culturally just who I am. I went to Montserrat my whole life growing up. I never been to China, so I don't speak no Chinese.
Do you want to go?
I would love to.
Yeah.
I think all of that is important, though. I'm appreciative for the pieces of culture that I do know.
Right.
And I feel like it has made me a lot more understanding and tolerant of other cultures because I know I come from a background of two different, like wildly different cultures.
You do.
Yeah, so it has done that for me, but when I think about how I was raised and who I've been around and the music I listen to and it's, I've been black my whole life.
You have.
Yeah.
Because when I went to your brother's service, I seen all these Chinese guys. I'm like, oh, I need to get one. I need me a new beauty supply.
Oh,
But I was
you
just
said
like,
a beauty supply?
It was cousins who, it was one guy in particular. I don't even think I talked to you about this, but it was one guy was coming in when he was coming in, and he was like fully Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
And he was your cousin. And I was just like, damn, do my girl ever like be rocking with her Chinese people like that or what?
Holidays. No, but yeah, I mean, listen, my dad has 8 brothers and sisters. And so and they all got kids. And so I'm mad cousins.
Yeah.
And I do have like some cousins that are half black and half Asian, half Italian, half Asian, different cultures. And so it is, but I feel like they all grew up in New York. And so when you grow up in New York, it is like you are, very Americanized.
Facts. I was just looking at that.
Haven't you been with an Asian person before?
I have.
Go
That's
listen
a
to
whole
Lip
nother
Service.
story. I have. Y'all make sure y'all go check out Lip Service. Yeah, I have. That's crazy. I did a lot of shit in my life. And so have you.
And have.
And speaking of you, okay, so Bam, this 2026. Right now you got Way Up with Angela Yee. That's one of my favorite shows. Outside of me being able to co-host, I like to listen in. I love the fact that you was able to bring in Mano and Jasmine. I love Dan. I love just the whole vibe. I love the subject matter. I want to touch on just the whole history. So like in 2022, like you was on the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy. You was presented with an opportunity and you took advantage of it because you got the chance to get your own show by yourself. Who wouldn't take advantage of it?
Yeah.
Like you, Angela Yee, you put the work in. Is there anything you miss about being on the Breakfast Club?
Is there anything I miss? I think that it was easier for me because I had so much support, and now it's just me and like, you know, sometimes like it's a rotating cast of people. That's hard. And if I want to take a day off, like when I was on the Breakfast Club, I could just call out and be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna make it," and
Because it's two other hosts.
yeah,
Okay.
and I can't do that now, and so that's tough. And we just don't have like a big staff, so I have to do a lot of stuff on my own. Even doing an interview on your own without nobody to like bounce off of,
Right.
you know, that's not easy either. So all of that it's definitely a lot more work for me as an individual. But and then I did like finishing so early because there'd be days that we'd be done at 9 a.m. and be like, okay, now I got the whole
Right.
day. I feel like I am working like nonstop now, but I do also feel like the reward of having like your own show with your name on the show, it is a balance, and I'm hoping that like we are going to get a co-host. I'm adamant about that. And so that's something that we're working on, and I think that'll help because I want a co-host not just because I need that to make it feel like a full show and something that's regular, but I also need that because I want to, whoever the co-host is going to be, at some point they're going to have their own show. And so to be able to be a part of that and like grooming somebody to be the next like radio star,
Right.
that's a big deal for me too.
That's good. So I will hope, and I can't say because I ain't got nothing to do with it, but I will hope that it will be Mano.
I would love that.
I think that it would be great for the culture. I feel like Mano has put a lot of work in over the
And
years.
he's like my friend for real. You
Yeah,
know, like
and
we
he's
have a
a
good
real
time.
nigga.
And the good thing about Mano is that he always got an idea or something going on. You know,
He
you
do.
see his Let's Rap About It. You see he's looking for a wife.
I'm gone. I ain't got time to be fucking with Mano and him looking for a wife. That's a whole nother story.
But it is nice to like have fun at work, you know, with somebody
Yeah.
that you like. This is my guy for real. Like we super cool.
Facts. When it comes to that, and from your transition from Breakfast Club to Way Up, do you still have a relationship with like the people, the host that was on the Breakfast Club, or how is that?
It's cordial. Like they're right down the hall. They come on right before me in some markets. And so, you know, hey, what's up? How you doing? That's it. You know, I think that it had been like a working situation for a while. So it's kind of like your coworkers. When I see you, there's no beef. There's no issues. It's just, you know, we work in the same building. And I also feel like, I know earlier we were talking about this, but it is like in general at work, a lot of people I see at work, and I don't really see them outside of that unless it's something related to work.
Right.
You know, like we all got to have our own lives. And so much of my time is occupied with being in that studio that when I'm out of there, it's not like what, you know, I spend more time with them than anybody. Even like I would say, obviously I'm with my man a lot, but like as far as
My man.
my man, being in that studio, that's the only other place I'm at the most. You know, sometimes I see them more than I see him,
Yeah.
depending on what's going on. So it is nice to have that separation.
And that's important because it be real shit going on. Like you were saying earlier, like you just recently lost your brother.
I know, girl. We done went
I
through it just
recently
now.
lost my mama. It's super hard. Like, how do you deal with grief? Because everybody deal with grief differently. So, like, with me, I lost my brother too. I lost my brother in the year 2000. I lost my baby daddy, and then 6 days later, I lost my brother. So it was real hard for me because my brother was like my father.
Yeah.
You know, it was like it was super hard. But by me being a strong one, I was always like, I want to just make sure that my family okay. But when it comes to my mom, it's my bad. It's just a lot. So it was like I was telling you, like, when you lost your brother, I get it because that's your only brother. You don't have like sisters. Like I got my little sister, but my brother was like my father. We was close. We talk all the time, and I know you and your brother was super close.
Yeah.
I remember the candies that your brother made.
Everybody remember that.
I remember the candies that your brother made, and it was just like, that's your brother. So how do you handle grief being that now you are really the only child?
Yeah, it's weird going from being like the little sister to being the only child. So that's been a challenge for me. And I feel like my brother did so much. Like my parents, you know, especially my mom, she worked right near where he lived. So I feel like he was always like doing stuff for her that I can't really replace the things that he did. One of my friends was telling me the other day, she was like, you know, Angela, it's amazing, like all the stuff that you've had to deal with and you still have been going to work. Like literally, I lost my brother, went there, found out, and then the next day I tried to go to work and it just wasn't going to happen for me, to be honest. Like I thought I could get up and go to work. You know what's crazy? When I found out, I was filming lip service and I was in between 2 episodes and I had Toya on from Married to Medicine. She had flew in for the interview and my dad called me and I was like, dang, you know, I actually ended up still doing the interview because I didn't believe it. Like when my dad called me and like your brothers, and I was like, oh, he probably just like, you know, it has to go to the doctor, whatever. I didn't really believe that he was gone. Thank you. And so it was so crazy that I actually finished the episode and then went to my brother's apartment and my mom was there. My brother was still on the ground. We were waiting for the police to come. And so I felt bad that she was there by herself all that time, but I couldn't process it in the moment. It took me a minute for it to even like feel like it could be real until I went there and saw him. And so that was tough. And then after that, it was like cleaning out my brother's apartment.
That's the hardest part.
Yes, I dealt with a lot of that because you got to think at first we couldn't even go in because the police have to do an investigation. Right, because he was there alone. They want to make sure there's like no foul play. And that, I mean, like, honestly, that was hard because I was like, what if somebody killed him? What if, you know, he overdosed? Like, I didn't know what happened. He had a brain aneurysm, but I didn't know what happened. And so we had to wait a couple of days to find that out. So they had like the tape on the door. We couldn't go in. So then a couple of days later, you know, I was able to start that process. And we had a tough winter. So it would be like a snowstorm. We can't go there for a couple of days because the roads is messed up. My parents, you know, they want to keep all his stuff. And I'm like, we can't keep everything. It was so much of his life in there. Yeah. And then I also felt really protective of not wanting to have like somebody come in and just throw stuff out. And, you know, I want to say that like, my boyfriend was really helpful to me during that time because he was with me, you know, helping me. I had to sneak over there when my parents were like not around to at least even get some stuff done because it was my dad would come and my mom would come and they would go through like the garbage to see. They'd be like, this spaghetti sauce is still good. Right. I'm like, y'all, we not keeping this spaghetti sauce. We not keeping the, you know, certain things. I felt like, let's just clear it out and get it done. It was just so much. And, you know, you feel guilty like getting rid of things. But I wanted to make sure also like donating to places where I felt like it would be beneficial for other people to use. And so at the same time, in the midst of all this happening, I had like a pipe burst in my house because we had a rough winter.
I remember
and so,
the pipe bursted.
Yeah, so my rental downstairs and my basement, I had to like redo all this stuff. And I'm trying to like juggle all of these things at once and still going to work and still doing. I literally only took 1 day off from work, you know, when that happened. And it was also my birthday when it happened. So I had a lot of plans of things that I wanted to do. And I feel like I still haven't really dealt with it. Last weekend was the weekend that we finally cleared everything out. And now we don't need to go back there anymore. And my mom was like, you know, that was hard for her because she was spent a lot of time at his house with him. And so that was a difficult thing. But for me, I just like am trying to make sure that I'm handling the stuff I need to handle. His car was in the I had to return his lease, and I just needed like my mom to fill out this paperwork, and she was taking long to do it, and I didn't want to like get on her case about it. So I just pressed SOS and acted like the car wouldn't start and had them come pick it up. So I'm just trying to figure out ways to like get things done so that we can move forward. But you know what really helped me was feeling like I am blessed to have had him in my life for the time that I had him. He was only 51. And the other day, a woman had her baby in the stroller. The baby was 7 months old and got shot and killed. Right? And I was just horrified, like seeing a mother have to deal with that, a 7-month-old baby. And I was like, man, I couldn't imagine what that's like. Like, at least the world got to know my brother. He had an opportunity to touch so many lives. So many people had positive things to say about him. Right. You know, even people who I don't really care for were like, your brother was amazing.
Right.
And so I think, you know, that's important, like living our lives, thinking about how we're going to be remembered and just being a good person. I love the fact that people I didn't even know were emailing me like, you know, your brother helped me with this. One woman was like, I moved here and I had a date from somebody I met on an app, and your brother came with me and sat at the bar and watched everything happening to make sure I was safe and okay until the date was over. And, you know, things like that. I'm like, he's an amazing person, like stuff we didn't even know. The car where the garage where his car was parked, the woman was like, every month your brother would bring me like some cake or some dessert, you know, to try. And she was like, I can't believe this happened. And I was like, damn, he was a really, like, good, thoughtful person. And when that happened and I was watching the news, I was like, it's such a blessing to have for him to have lived, you know, for 51 years because this poor woman, her baby got shot and killed at 7 months old. And I'm like, that's so devastating to have something like that happen. So I just look at it like to cherish the time that we had to spend with somebody and to get to know them and for the world to get to know them.
That's a fact. I try to tell my sister the same thing. I'm like, it's messed up as it is because, like, with me, I didn't grow up with a father. My sister lost her father early on. Like I said earlier, I lost my brother and my baby daddy the same week. But your mom, well, I didn't have a father, so I can't relate to people who grow up with their daddy. But I can say my mom I've never went a day without talking to my mama.
Right, you sure did.
So me and my
your mama's a trip.
She's something else. She like me. She helped me understand why I am like how I am. The same thing with my nephew. And I tell my sister and my son and my family that, but they don't understand that it's just something about my mama and me and my nephew that's similar. But I look at people who, like my uncles. I got 2 uncles that lost their mama and their daddy as kids. I see people that lost their mamas, like Jordy.
Yeah.
Jordy hit me up and she was
mom,
like, I lost my mom at 17 and stuff like that. I try to say, okay, well, I did have my mama, even though it don't take away the pain, but it makes me more grateful for the years that I did have my mama.
It's a blessing.
You know what I'm saying? Even coming over here, it was like I came over here and it was just like, I couldn't come. Originally, it was like, okay, we had these interns and I wanted to come and I was like, okay, I'm going to come the next week. And it went from 1 week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks. And it was like, I could not come.
Yeah.
And when I finally came, Cutwater K, as we call him, he was just like, he understood.
Yeah.
You know, Trina hit me up like, listen. So when I talked to Trina, it was a little different because it was like somebody who felt like how I felt.
Yeah.
And people don't say this, but it was a lot of things. Like, I didn't feel like God has no mistakes. I didn't feel like that.
No,
I
of course
felt like,
not.
is you cool? I felt like, why would you take my mama? My mama was God-fearing.
Yeah.
Why would you not give my mama more years? My mama was into church and she praised you. Like, why would you do us like this? You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of stuff. I don't be want to hear when people call like, oh, well, she's not suffering no more and she was tired. It's like, it's people I hang up on.
Yeah.
I hate when people say, how are you? I'm not doing good.
Yeah, of course not. I think the best thing to say is there anything I could do for you? I think that helps the most. Like, can I help you in any way? And they mean it. You know, it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to mean it. And
because there's people who say it and don't do shit.
It really helped when, like, my brother's friends came over and they helped, like, clear out the last remaining things. You know, my brother was big into, like, tech and stuff. And so we had a lot of equipment and stuff like that I was like, I don't know what to do with this. And they came, and honestly, like, they disconnected everything, and then they logged it all in and did like a whole inventory to let me know what everything was, and then to see what was of value, you know, what wasn't, what we should try to sell, what are some things we could donate to a school, like, and stuff like that. And so it was nice because I didn't know where to start with that part. And so to say, can I help, and then to actually help, that means a lot. And so, you know, I can understand what you're saying when it comes to that. And you, yeah.
And the closing, I think one of the second hardest part for me, everybody moved different, was getting the news. I think the hardest part after that was cleaning out my mama's apartment.
Yeah.
That was like the worst shit. I never, you know, even, okay, it's another part when you have to go and you have to handle the business, because it's like birth certificate, death certificate. But the hardest part is cleaning out the house. So we had her friends come and take stuff and stuff like that, but it's just like knowing, like, this is my mama's house.
Yeah.
It'll never be the same, you know, like, my mama ain't in the group chat no more. My mama been in the group chat forever. This
yeah, you gotta years. Like, now you gotta start a different group text. I had to do that too.
Well, my mama's still in our family group chat, so
yeah,
it's like I can't be like, okay, let's remove my mama, because some people block out grief. I've had friends that lost their mamas that was like, okay, we just go act like it didn't happen. I can't do that. I'd rather embrace it. Like, we got rid of a lot of my mama's stuff, gave it to her friends. We even donated to, my mama was a, coincidentally, HIV awareness specialist. She got people in treatment all over Chicago. But a lot of shit I couldn't get rid of.
Yeah.
So right now I'm in the process of building a shed in the back of my house. I'm like, I can't just get rid of my mama's stuff. So I'm like building a shed so where I can just be like, okay, I'll go in the back of my house. I pray to my mama, and this will be my
That's
space.
crazy, because I'm having a shed built at my parents' house. Because,
but that's good,
yeah,
though.
To be able to store stuff that, you know, I'm being patient too with my parents, because the way that I am, I'm trying to, like, just handle things. Like, let's just handle, go.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, that's what I am, but they're not necessarily like that. You know what I mean?
My sister may not be like that.
Right.
But somebody got to do it, and it's usually the person that's like the leader of the family. The family manager, as my mama called it.
And so, that's you.
It is, and that's you too.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So people be like, take it one day at a time. I tell people all the time, don't take it one day at a time. Take it an hour at a time. Because until you have been through it, it's nothing that, and everybody had different relationships with their mama. My mama was my mama. So that's the only person that I have known the longest in my life. So it's just really, really hard. It's like people, you got to deal with people talking about, oh, I'm going to call you back. I'm on the phone with my mom. Or Mother's Day coming up. My mama's birthday in May. So that's very, very hard.
Yeah.
So it's like, just be like, I'm going to just take it an hour at a time.
Yeah. That's all you can do.
It's a lot. It's a lot, but it's like, I can't lose myself in the process. It's like I still got my nephew. I got my son. Yeah. It's like I can't be like, okay, I'm going to kill myself then, make them suffer for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you know, I saw Safari was on social media. His mother passed. And people were trying to say, oh, he's doing this for attention. He said he don't even want to be here anymore. I'm like, ain't nobody going on social media for attention.
And they can't relate.
Yeah.
People don't understand, especially if you was close to your mama. Like, he was close. I don't know him, but I've seen him and his mama. Like, me and my mama was close. So it's easy. Nobody understands until you walk that walk. And it's a club that nobody wants to be a part of.
Right.
So I commend people. I be like, damn, I don't see, now that I'm a part of the club, I be like, damn, I have a whole nother respect for people who have been able to still work and still do shit, because it was like, I remember KX was telling me, like, and I was like, I'm coming. And he was like, listen, take your time. It's a lot of people who, it just depends. I feel like it's the relationship with your parents too.
I mean, I hate that my parents had to see my brother die. You know, I hate that.
Right. Because I had friends that have lost their mom, but then they have told me, like one of my close friends, he was like, ChellaH, I know you don't want to hear this, but it's a pattern. Your mom would rather, you want your mom to go before
Can you imagine your mother having to live through something
Right.
happening to one of you. You
And
know what
that's
I'm
the
saying?
thing.
You know what's crazy is I hadn't heard this message before, but my dad called me when it happened, and he left a voicemail, and I heard it the other day because I didn't know he left a voicemail. Like, I guess he called after that, and I heard it, and it's so hard to listen to. But he had left a voicemail, and I didn't know until, you know, like, who leaves a voicemail?
Yeah.
And then I was like looking at stuff because I was like waiting for a call to come in. And I was like, oh, my dad left a voicemail, like, and it was that day, so I still have that.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Like it's just crazy. It's something. It's like a whole new life. You look at everything different. You look at everybody different.
Yeah.
It's friends that you feel closer to now. It's friends that you feel more distant from. It's just like crazy. It's just like I was. It's something that you could never be prepared for.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
So it's just a lot. So I just be like, oh my God. Because there was a point in my life where like I said, I thought like, man, I don't care about shit. I don't care about, like you said, about your designer bags. When you get to this level and you have this type of loss, you feel like none of this shit even matters. Like, no matter what success I have, it's like my mama's not here to see it.
Yeah.
But my son is, and my sister is, and my nephew, but you still be like.
But I bet you get signs too, like to know that she's somehow seeing.
I do.
Yeah,
I
and
do.
you got to pay attention to those signs.
I get them. Just like I was in a doctor the other day and I was getting a pap smear. Right? I was getting a pap smear. And it was a picture on the wall and it was pink and turquoise and then my mama colors. Even with this, with my set, it was like my set was supposed to be turquoise, but then I was like, I want to put some pink and turquoise in because this is like my mama's colors.
Right.
And I was like, man. And I was just like, it's just like my mama no matter what. So I get people who have been through this.
Yeah.
It's just like, like I said, it's a club that you don't want to be a part of, but it's super, super hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's that.
You've been doing great though. I want to say that. Like,
I try.
no, you've been doing great. You put together like a amazing memorial service for her, you know, and I know it's something that she would have been like, this was fire.
I did. It was just like, from November to February to lose my mama, it was just like, I never planned that. Like, we didn't know my mama was sick, and it was just like, now this happens.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it is what it is. But yeah, I just wanted to know how it was for you because, like I said, in 2000, I lost my brother.
Yeah.
And my brother was like my daddy. So I know, like, when I was hitting you up, I was like, gee, I know because that's my only brother. So I know that that's a lot. And I just see how responsible you be.
Yeah. And, you know, I don't come from like an emotional family. So that's been different too, because like my dad sometimes would just be like, fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's as emotional as it gets,
Right.
you know?
And I do.
Yeah.
So me and my mama, because you know how I am.
Yes.
Everybody knows, like, I'm so extra. But my mama just like me.
Yeah.
If not more. Like, we don't hold back. Like, we tell each other we love you. We hug and stuff like that. So we just extra.
And you was with her nonstop, like at the hospital.
For sure.
Every time I called you, you're like, I'm at the hospital. Let me step out of the hospital. I'm leaving for a minute, but I got to go back, you know? So.
Yeah. Because the plan was my mama go through chemo. She beat it. We throwing her a party. We get in a car. I remember even when I found that about your brother, I didn't hear it from you. I found out somebody sent it to me online. I'm like, what the fuck? And I broke down because it put me in a mind frame of how it was with my brother. And I was telling my mama, I told my mama, and at first I was like, well, she'll understand if I don't make it. And my mom was like, you should make it.
Yeah,
and
you
I
came out
flew
to
out
New York.
there
You did.
In the morning.
I didn't even know you was coming.
Yeah, and I flew out there in the morning, and I left that night. But I didn't care what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, you did. I appreciate that.
But
you know, it's
my
interesting
girl.
because I really couldn't talk to nobody. And the next day, like I told you, the next day I was at home. And then I went on the radio and I talked about it, but for a couple of reasons. One, because I wanted to just say it one time for everybody to know. Because you know what happened? Somebody like, what happened? Does anybody, you know, how did it happen? So I was like, let me just put it out there what happened. But I've had several people hit me up, and I'll show you, like, that me talking about this aneurysm and, like, having an awful headache that is the worst headache you've ever had in your life.
Yeah.
Go to the doctor. And
For sure.
I've had several people hit me and be like, thank you so much for that. One woman said her 5-year-old had such a bad headache that he was screaming. And she said, she thought about what I said and took him to the doctor, and they found out that he was having an issue too.
And that's good.
Yeah. So I just felt like it would be beneficial because he told my mom that he was having this bad headache, and he told me too. He was supposed to actually come over my house. And I just wish that I would have even thought oh, maybe he's having it. I didn't even think about that.
That's crazy that you said that, because even last night, me and my sister we had our first fallout, not even a fallout, but it was a problem since this happened. And me and my sister having real close.
Yeah.
And my nephew came down the stairs and he was like, TT, I want to stop at the gas station because I got a headache. And I was like, okay, well, we'll go get you an aspirin. So when she came downstairs, she was like, he don't need no aspirin. He's just doing that for you. I'm like, okay, so we going to worry about him doing it for me, or we going to help him figure out his headache? So the whole ride to Longhorn was dry.
Yeah.
Because I don't, especially since this was my mom, I don't take nothing lightly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have never thought that I was finna lose my mama 3 months after she told me her legs was hurting or her back was hurting.
Yeah, we got to pay attention to
For sure.
anything out of the ordinary. And, that was important for me to say. If you have a headache or somebody tells you they've never had a headache this bad before, go to the doctor.
Period. No excuses. So, life be life, and life goes on. One thing I have tried to accept is that passing is inevitable.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
It's nothing we can do about it. Everybody gonna live, and you go pass, no matter what. So I try to accept that. I try to put that on my family, and I try to make you live every day like it's your last.
Yeah. And I think also preparing for when that's going to happen, too, and making sure that, your affairs are in order.
For sure.
Is the best thing that you can do for people around you.
For sure. From life insurance
to
wills to plans.
Yeah.
And that's what I put on myself. I'm like, okay, I had some life insurance. I want to get more. Not just that, I want to leave a note to what I want y'all to do. When I pass, I want y'all to take y'all a family trip. I want y'all to do this and that. And that conversation is uncomfortable for a lot of people, but I feel like it's the most responsible conversation to have.
They have these things that you could put everything, all your accounts. So if something happens to you, that somebody will know all the accounts that you have open. You can have your will there. Do you want to be cremated? Do you what is it that you want? This is my life insurance. Just making sure that if something should happen, that at least that makes it okay, here's everything all in one place.
Because somebody got to think like that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that before we move on? With cremation, because it was people why are you cremating your mom? And I was like, to me, I look at it like this. Okay, it's cremation and it's burial. I'd rather have myself, because it's the same way. I'd rather be cremated to where I can be put in the house with my family than to be buried in a yard where a person is getting walked over. You know what I'm saying? So
it's interesting because, we buried my brother because I didn't know what he wanted. And I feel like if you want to be cremated, that's something you say and let people know.
And my mom did.
Yeah. So I just was we had a conversation about it, and I just didn't know, So I feel like if somebody doesn't say that, and I've never said what I wanted either. I don't really know. I'm not sure what I want because I don't know what my thoughts are about the afterlife. I don't really. I just am not sure. But I do know that when you get buried, at some point you'll be in the ground, too. So that's part of that happening. So
so it's a personal decision.
Yeah.
Like I say, I make it clear.
You want to be cremated.
I definitely want to be cremated because, again, I just look at it as I'd rather be in the house with my own people than to be walked over. People be like, oh, when people get cremated, because my mama brother, one of her brothers was like, why did she get cremated? Did we not have the money? And it wasn't that. It was just that was my mom's choice.
Yeah, if they say that, I respect what somebody says they want to do.
For sure. My mama had everything wrote down, what songs she wanted played, who she wanted to do this. Now, we switched up some things, but for the most part, we followed this. So it's just a lot. And, to anybody that's grieving, like I can say, just take it not just one day at a time, but 1 hour at a time. So
Yeah. And I just, I'm trying to be supportive. That's all. Like for my family. And I know you are too. And I know like you're concerned. And you have to, you like the strong one as much as you can. Yeah.
everybody say that because I feel like even my mama, it was people, my mama friends was like, ChellaH go be okay. ChellaH go be strong. And then it's like, it's people that's saying, because I'm hearing like, oh, ChellaH's not the same. She's cracking up and stuff like that. And it's not that I'm cracking up. I'm being myself because that's how it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I never had to go through this.
Yeah.
So this is my first time. So this is new for me too. So I don't hold in my cries. It could be times to where it's just like, I don't care where I'm at or what I'm doing. I'm going to be myself, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But it's really, really hard for me. It's hard. I can't sleep. I wake up every morning. I pray to God now, and then I look and I pray to my mama. I have a picture on the right of me. On the left of me, I got my mama urn. I just can't believe it because I feel like I never prepared for this. It's so hard, but it's like, what I'm going to do?
Yeah. What
What am I going to do besides try to be strong for my sister, my nephew, my son? But at the end of the day, it's the truth.
I feel so bad sometimes if I call you in the morning and you was and I wake you up. I'd be like, I know she's not sleeping like that. You'd be like, hello. I'm like,
I don't be sleep because I don't really
I feel
sleep.
so bad. I'd be like, dang, did I wake her up and she finally went to sleep?
I don't. One thing for sure, I don't sleep past 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
I
wild.
don't sleep past 6.
You be texting me early. I'm like, ain't you an
I
hour
know.
behind me?
I be hoping somebody up. I got my crew, or my early crew, but it's just like since that happened, my whole life is just changed.
Yeah.
I don't look at nothing the same. I don't have patience. If it's somebody that's fucked up, I don't make excuses for them. I just be like, fuck them, and I'm going to move accordingly with them.
You know what, though? I've been, moving, like, to a better place. I've been trying to think about how this can motivate me to do things that I know that, like, my brother would be so excited and proud that I'm doing.
For sure.
And I look at it like that. Like, at certain times when I do things, I was like, my brother would be so happy if he knew I did X, Y, and Z. And so I try to look at it in that way, like that he would be so proud. Because everybody always tells me, like, your brother was so proud of you. Your brother would say X, Y, and Z about you.
I heard everybody say that at the service.
Yeah. So I am grateful that, like, we were always in a good place and got along, and that was, like, my dog.
Yeah. And I feel the same about my mom.
Yeah.
Because I could have we can go all day because the whole relationship was crazy.
Yeah, you would call me and be like, why my mama said
my
this?
Mama this and my mama crazy.
But she
we
would
ain't
crack
miss
you
a day,
up,
and
though.
That was my girl.
Yeah.
And that's just what it was. But I'm just like, man, you really got to live life and enjoy life and just really love who loves you and be more patient with people who really fuck with you and don't give a fuck about those who don't.
This all goes back to don't waste time.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Don't waste time.
People definitely take time for granted. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm working on.
That's right. We got to do more things.
Meanwhile, but what I was going to say, as far as Chicago, right? Because I know you said you be in Turks and you be in Detroit and you be here and there. I know you love Chicago.
Mm-hmm, I do.
What's your favorite thing about Chicago?
Ooh, okay. Well, y'all do have some good food. I will give you that. I don't know if your pizza better than New York pizza. It depends. Maybe.
We'll see shortly.
Yeah. So there's that. What else do I love about Chicago? I think Chicago always reminds me of like a cleaner New York.
For sure.
Because New York, I'll give you that. New York is dirty. Chicago always feels like that. And then I also always think back to like when I did my lip service tour. Chicago was like the most lit stop on the tour. And it was wow. And I think that Chicago still has a good like lounge and party scene.
For sure. Who was your favorite artist from Chicago?
ChellaH. She
Good
a cold ass
answer.
bitch.
Real ass bitch too. That's a fact. So I know like we always have our New York, Chicago debates, right? And I be like, gee, New York food is not fucking with Chicago food. I don't care what you say.
Well, then don't eat when you come to New York.
Well, we always eat in-house, and we Uber Eats.
No, but you know what? We got Caribbean food. I will say that.
Y'all do.
Yeah, we got that because I know y'all got like a couple of little, but I think New York.
Now, we got a lot of, now on the Caribbean side, y'all is
That's what I'm
fucking it
talking
up.
about. Caribbean, we
Yeah.
got that.
But our food overall, from the chicken to the pizza to the soul food, our shit just slap.
Okay.
It is. So
You just used to it too, you know.
yeah, you say I'm in denial. So
But I do think Chicago has amazing restaurants. I will say, like, when I come here, going out to eat, and the shopping, I think Chicago has great shopping.
We do have great shopping, but New York got some good ass
yes,
shopping
we do too. We do too.
And I give y'all that on the fashion shit. I
Okay.
give y'all that.
Yeah,
I
you
give
know,
you that.
we got you right.
You got that shit on. You always had that shit on. Type shit. So yeah, I just wanna do a little taste test with you.
Okay.
So y'all ready?
Oh, you got food for me?
I do.
Okay.
Because you talk so much shit about this pizza.
Okay.
And I just feel like when it comes to Chicago pizza versus New York pizza, y'all pizza kind of
Well, let me ask ChatGPT.
Well, ChatGTP or PT or whatever, it ain't
PTSD.
no shit. It ain't no shit. PT, JetG, whatever it is. They really
Well,
ain't no shit.
Let me ask.
Yeah, but
Let's
you
see
know,
what they say.
the guy who Googled it ain't no shit. So,
Hold on.
you ready? Let's
Who
just
has
do this.
better pizza,
Can we
Chicago
sit
or
this?
New York?
They can say that. So I just want to
Oh,
give
you
you
really
this
bought
sample.
us?
I want to give
What
you
is
this
that,
sample.
Domino's?
Now I'm finna show you some shit. Hold on.
This episode of So Who Gon Say It was brought to you by Reek the Jeweler. Reek got all the jewelry. Hey, he the #1 jeweler in Chicago. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Reek the Jeweler, located at 5 South Wabash, and book your consultation with Reek the Jeweler today.
So I just want to show you this, right?
Uh-huh.
So as you can see, can the camera get this? Bam. This would be considered New York pizza.
It looks good.
And this is Chicago pizza. So I want
What
you
is
to...
that on there? That looks like some type of meat.
What is it? This the wrong pizza, y'all.
That's Chicago.
Yep, you be fucking shit up. Can y'all give me some of the cheese pizza? It's cool. I eat it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so while you taste that, they gonna bring some cheese pizza.
Look.
This is New York pizza. Just taste one slice.
Okay. I already could tell. You know what I'm saying? The triangle. Y'all got the square.
Facts. That's some New York type pizza. It's giving not too much flavor type shit.
I don't know if this don't taste like no pizza I ever had in New York.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And then we finna do the, cause this is, I don't know what this is. I will give it to you, but I don't know if it's turkey or ground beef.
Yeah, we don't know what that is.
We ain't. But either way, I'ma eat it, and then they go bring the other one. One thing about Chicago, we ain't perfect.
Now, why would you consider this New York pizza?
Because it doesn't have as much. So the pizza that I had in New York, it wasn't as flavorful. It's giving like, I'm hungry.
But I don't
let me
know where
get
you
something to
went.
eat. Gee,
Huh?
I've been around that bitch.
Okay. Well,
Places you took me, all them little places by the job and shit like that. That pizza is not on shit.
we got pizza on like every corner though. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying, and they all taste like that. How was that when you killed that?
I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
I'm
Y'all
also
got the other pizza?
I'm also hungry.
Right. Because that makes a difference, too. Here they come with the other pizza.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's cool.
It's cool. Is you cool?
Is everybody cool? They finna bring some of the other pizza. And I just want your honest
Let me see what is that? Oh, it look like you got jalapenos on there. Oh yeah, that look nasty.
This Italian Fiesta. This is the pizza that Obama took to the White House.
Okay.
And he took it for a reason because
This the
New
pizza
York
Obama took
pizza
to the-
is not fucking with Chicago.
Let me get my other New York slice. You know, it needs some crushed red pepper, but
They coming? You can see somebody walking. Where the pizza at, y'all?
well, I think I'm New York win by default.
I ain't gonna hold you at this point. I don't know what to say. I just want you to taste it because I feel like you ain't really ate no real pizza, and you've been just suffering with this New York pizza all your life. That
No,
shit
I would
giving
say-
lunchroom.
I'm not mad at Chicago pizza. It's definitely a close second. So I'm not mad at it.
Here they come.
She about to do something crazy.
I ain't. Now, just tell me. Now, mind you, don't remember that you was hungry.
Okay.
This you want for flavor and taste. Taste the Italian Fiesta.
Italian Fiesta.
Italian Fiesta versus New York type shit. So who gonna say it? What we doing? Gee, I feel like you just saying that. Can we get some water? I feel like you just being extra. Because I could have switched it to be like, that's New York and that's Chicago.
Let me see. You know what? This got like mad powder underneath, a little, you know what I'm saying?
Type shit.
Yeah, I don't know. In this situation, I'm going to say I think the New York pizza is better. I'm just being honest.
Lord. Heavenly Father, I ask that you guide my friend to understand what real peace is. But you know what? I'm going to let you have it. You ain't feeling it like that?
No, I like the other one better. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay, that's because you're so used to it. You used to it like you said I was. So
This don't even for real taste like pizza. This tastes like something else. Like, I don't know. I can't even explain it. But I did like the other one better.
okay.
All
It's
right,
cool.
well,
It is what it is.
yeah.
But
You can put it down.
forgive those who do not know it. So I'm just leave it like that. So you cool?
I'm cool.
Okay, so
Is you cool?
I'm cool. Everybody cool? We cool? So that's good. I am grateful to have you as my first guest.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you, you know that. Real
Oh,
recognize
ChellaH,
real.
you know I love you to death. So I'm just really happy to be here. You know, there's no way I wouldn't have been the first person to pull up.
Period.
So
Okay,
I'm happy
my
about
girl.
it.
I'm happy too. So I'm glad
Cheers
that
to
we
you.
had some great conversations. And I feel like, so before we wrap up this episode, I feel like we got to have a toast.
Okay.
First,
To New York pizza.
to Chicago. Chicago versus New York pizza.
No. We love them both, though.
We do.
Chicago close second.
Period.
Remember I took you to a Nets game when they was playing Chicago?
You did. You did. So she took us to a Chicago versus New York game. Floor seats. Now, I done been to a lot of games, but I ain't gonna cap. That was my closest I've been.
Yeah,
on
we
the
was
floor.
right on the wood.
We was right on the floor in the front. You know what I'm saying? I was flash shit. I don't know what I had on, but I had that shit on.
Y'all won.
As I do. And we won. I already knew I was going to win because that's what happens when I come. I just win. So
Cheers to
we
you.
fucked them up.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Like
know.
niggas was
What was they doing?
winning.
They do the ball that way? That's crazy.
And I was doing so much cheering for the Bulls, and it was people around like, who is that? Why is she here? Whoa, I ain't even care because I was like, I'm from Chicago, and I let shit be known that we're gonna win. So yeah, shout out to you, shout out to the Nets, shout out to the Bulls.
I know, that's right.
We pulling up on the game tomorrow.
Well, yes, we are. We're going to the game while I'm out here. Cheers to you, though, ChellaH. Thank you for having me and for being so hospitable always. You got to come over and cook again.
I will.
All
Cause
right.
what did I cook last time?
Tacos.
Ain't no bitch fucking with my tacos. Taco Bell, Taco Central, whatever the fuck they call. I am the taco queen, so shout out to me.
Thank you
And-
for feeding me.
Period. Shout out to my girl Angela Yee, the legend. Shout out to me for being that bitch.
ChellaH H.
Period. And if y'all want to know who go say it, I'm go say it.
Wanna know who gon' say it? ChellaH go say it.